Welcome to Behind the Scenes of the Waltons. If you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to know when new videos are being posted, go ahead and click on the notification button. Today, I'm going to talk about the episode The Wager, which was probably just about my favorite episode to film. I'm not sure it was my favorite episode, but filming it, I had a lot of fun. For those of you who don't know, I am a complete horse person. Love it. It's one of my passions. I've been riding and jumping horses since I was about 15 years old. I got into riding horses through a woman who was a costumer on the Waltons, and she took me out to a horse show one time and showed me pictures of her riding and competing and over fences and winning ribbons, and I just fell madly in love with it. I'd always been fascinated by horses, but had not really had a chance to ride much. So she took me out, I saw her horse, and I started taking lessons. So that's been kind of my primary sport consistently throughout the years. So doing the wager and getting to go to work every day and get on a horse and ride all day was just like heaven. I always wanted to do action films, and the Waltons didn't have a lot of action, but getting to ride the horse around the mountains and stuff was fun for me. And I think that they added some of those elements to the storyline because the producers knew that I was a horse person and that I rode. Of course, we all at times rode Blue, the old mule, but that kind of wasn't the same thing. So within the wager, the concept of a ride and run race, someone I knew had told me about this kind of like ride and tie race concept, and I think I had told someone on the show about it, and so I don't know if that was linked there at all, but I thought it was a fascinating concept. And poor Mary McDonough, who's not a horse person, got completely pulled into having to do this storyline, and I think she was a little nervous about the horse and the riding and all that kind of stuff. And I know there was a particular point in there during the race where I'm riding and I'm going up just a very slight incline, and I go by her and I go, "Tail me," and she grabs the tail of the horse and lets that help pull her up the little incline. And that was not something I was familiar with ever, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was I admit I was glad it was her that had to do that part of it and not me, because I knew enough about being close to the back of horses. I'd been kicked before, and so the idea of being behind a horse that close to their hind legs, but the stunt coordinators and whatnot swore that it was fine and it was safe and it was done. So Mary, maybe ignorance is bliss, didn't know enough to know that there could be anything to be concerned about. So she was a real trooper on that episode. But I don't know that she has much fun as I had. We shot the horse race at a combination of the back lot of the studio. Certain checkpoints were on the back lot of the studio. And there was a point where I trip in a stream and my competitor goes by me. That was on the back lot of the studio. And then the final where we finished the race was there. Some of the points where we went up and over little mountains, that was on the back lot of the studio. But then a lot of it was done at Franklin Canyon, which was a local location about, 20 minutes from the studio, where we had more open ground to run on some of those trails. So that was fun too, to go on location and hop on a horse all day and ride around. And the horse that I rode regularly was a nice horse and very well behaved. So that made it a lot easier for both me and for Mary to deal with. There were a couple of interesting points in how they shot. Like, as a horse person, and anybody out there who's a horse person will understand this, or anybody who knows a particular subject really well. If you know a sport and you watch someone do it in a film or on TV, you can pretty much immediately tell whether that person actually is competent in that sport or not, whether they're playing tennis or they're riding horses or, whatever sport you know about. you can tell if that person actually has done their homework at least, or is actually how competent they are at it. So, I often watch things with horses and go, that person doesn't ride. Or it looks fake when you get into the close-ups, and the rhythm of the person in a close-up doesn't even vaguely resemble the real rhythm that the person would be in if they were actually running or doing whatever they're supposed to be doing. In the case of our show, of The Wager, all of the riding was for real. Nobody used a stunt double, and also none of the shots were contrived. They were all actually, close-ups, we were really riding. Long shots, it was us riding. So there was a sequence in there where I'm riding against Sam, and we're sort of racing. Our horses are kind of neck and neck, so to speak. When we shot that, there was like a camera car. There was a camera mounted on a truck probably, that was racing. The car was driving alongside us. So it was a tricky technical thing to film because the truck was leading us, and we had to stay a certain distance from the truck for the camera to keep us in focus and to get the shot. We couldn't go zooming past the truck, nor could we lag too far behind the truck. The actor who played Sam was not as much of a rider as I was. And my horse was kind of supposed to be lagging behind his horse. Well, my horse was faster. My horse was faster than his horse. And my horse could have easily overtaken his horse. And so I had a little bit of the trick there to keep us in proximity to the truck, the camera truck, plus keep, like, if our horses got too far separated, the shot wouldn't work. So I had to keep my horse like just sort of neck and neck with his horse, and yet not overtake his horse. So, and look like I was trying to make my horse go faster. So it was a little bit of fortunately, because I was really experienced, I had enough experience to be able to keep the distance I needed from the other horse, make it look like I was trying to get my horse to go faster, but actually be holding the horse back while I looked like I was trying to make the horse go. So all of those things were, technical points that, because I really rode, I was able to do without a problem. But also things that made it a challenge and so much fun for me to do. Other notable things about that episode: Jonathan Banks, this was in his career before he, really took off and became the really prominent star he is now. So always fun to work with people that you can say, oh, hey, I worked with him, back when. So that was, that was fun. Yeah, just overall, all to go and spend days riding and running and doing jumping jacks. And I loved that, Cammie was the one who was training us and such a taskmaster. And, that the whole family kind of, the bets that were taken over it. I thought there was just really cute things to that story, and loved being able to push him into the horse trough. Just fun elements. So I hope you have enjoyed this behind the scenes of the Waltons, the episode The Wager, and I will see you again with more of the Waltons behind the scenes.